For a great majority of my years, I've dabbled in one too many things. One day I would be interested in filmmaking, and the next I would be interested in learning philosophy, followed by another week-long obsession with design thinking. It was fine for a 20-year-old kid trying to figure the world out, but as I approach my late 20s, I'm much more interested in the return on attention than simply spending it away. At this point in my life, I am much more interested in how my daily actions are contributing towards my future goals and visions, rather than simply saying yes to anything that comes my way. Don't get me wrong, it's not about filling up the hours with hustle and grind. It's about carving out time for the things we value the most, like leisure, for example. Because I believe that a great portion of knowledge work involves a long period of unfocused attention. We need to be essentialists in our approach while finding the perfect balance between work and play and understanding how they supplement each other. That's the number one question in my head right now. How can I make my life and work synchronize with each other in an ambient manner? And in order to do that, I have found that looking at life through a project-centric lens has proven to be the most fruitful. I often talk about how having a wide range of interests is a strength in the modern day and age. But without a conscious effort towards an outcome, things will always be left unfinished or abandoned. And even if they are completed, there will be no direct consequence towards our life's goals. What we need is a project-centric approach towards life that helps us battle against the ravagings of time and organize our life towards our biggest goals. Everywhere we look, knowledge work is rapidly becoming more project-based. People, teams, and organizations come together briefly to execute projects and then quickly disperse once it's finished, sometimes called the Hollywood model in reference to how films are made.
We believe that organizations are going to have to really rethink the way work is done in their businesses. So we are seeing the world at the business level becoming projectified. And we call that the project economy, where you have teams of people moving between functional areas without the boundaries of finance, HR, legal, etc.
For any project, we need to be very clear about the tasks that we need to do, who the right people for the job are, and exactly when it needs to be completed. Not defining your projects will result in unfocused efforts with no real outcome. If you have your projects defined, every tool will work for you. Whereas if you don't have your projects defined, every tool will make you work instead. You'll be constantly pulled and pushed into the projects of others. And you'll realize that even when others offer to help you with yours, you won't even know what they are. People often confuse projects with areas. When asked, they will say things like product development or coding. But they are not projects, they are areas. Projects have a fixed deadline or an outcome to be achieved. For example, a book launch or a website beta test. Projects always fall into areas, like running a marathon is a project, whereas health is an area. Publishing a book is a project, whereas writing is an area. Saving 3 months' worth of expenses is a project, whereas finances are an area. In all these examples, the projects have completion dates. They are either complete or incomplete. The areas of responsibility, on the other hand, have standards of performance that must be maintained over time. The reason that I'm trying to look at my life through a project-centric lens is because I feel like I've wasted a lot of my early 20s, trying to do so many things all at once, being busy from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to bed. And yet if anyone would ask me what I was working on, I couldn't give them a particular project that I was working on. I didn't have any idea of how that particular task was gonna tie into my life's goals or life's purpose. Although I did involve myself in a lot of projects in my early 20s, I don't have anything to show for. I don't have any documentation or things like that I could use as a portfolio to showcase to my clients or use it into my other projects. But I think I'm gonna be a bit more intentional in my late 20s, especially regarding how my projects are gonna be interlinked with each other and how they can help me create the life I wanna create. So the reason why I am encouraging people in their early 20s or late 20s to embark on a project-centric life is because it allows you to see things that you never would have seen before, in the sense that there are so many interests that are unique to you, and that gives you a unique perspective. And we have to realize that we are in a state of time where our unique perspective is eventually gonna shape how the world is gonna become in the next few years. And the more audacious projects we take, more challenging projects we take, we develop more skills. And in my experience of living the project-centric life for the last few months, I've noticed that projects are often interlinked with each other, because you pick these projects out of your interests or out of the areas of improvement that you often find yourself trying to maintain a standard upon. And if you can capture these insights or ideas that you gather over time, what you will be doing is you will be creating a repository of ideas and insights within a particular area of interest. So if and when you think you are ready to embark on a particular project, all of these ideas and insights will help you reach there even faster, or in an even more ambient manner than it would have been otherwise. Sometimes, one project could lead to a domino effect to another project. So maybe the next project might not require as much time as it did for you to finish the initial project. So a major concern or issue for people in their late 20s or early 20s is the issue of financial freedom. But the way I see it, money is just a medium through which we exchange value. And if you take on more challenging projects and learn through them, the value that you provide in the marketplace increases over time. And oftentimes you might find yourself in an unfamiliar terrain, when you have to learn about finance or accounting, even if you are not interested in it. But sometimes that is the particular thing that you have to do, that you have to learn in order to drive your project forward. So this allows you to tie together ideas from different disciplines that isn't intuitive that they would connect with each other, and you might end up with something so innovative or something so personal yet insightful. In a way, living a project-centric life will increase the effectiveness of that learning loop. And as you learn and gain more skills and wisdom and ideas, your value in the marketplace increases by that much. And if you can somehow figure out a way to monetize your ideas and passions and your projects, then the world is your oyster, my friend. So this whole video was inspired by this brilliant article by Tiago Forte, known as PARA, which is a universal framework for organizing digital notes. But I see it as a way of life as well. And it is safe to assume that this framework has dramatically shifted my perspective upon how to approach life, how to approach tasks and the things that I do on a day-to-day basis. And I'll be sure to link it down in the description below if you wish to read it, which I do recommend. So if you are new here, my name is Tubden Gurum, and I talk about various mental models, strategies and frameworks for creative entrepreneurs and modern philosophers. If you identify yourselves as one of these, please subscribe because you'll most definitely like it here.